This is Steve from Ozia, the maker of kava candy, and I am here today with Douglas, the Kavasseur. How you doing, Doug?
I'm doing good. How are you, Steve?
Oh, good, good, man. Well, hey, so tell everybody, for those people who don't know who you are and who the Kavasseur is, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into kava.
Yeah, so I first messed around with kava or was introduced to kava right around the turn of the millennium. So like 99, 2000. I was working at a health food store in San Diego, and I was in community college at the time, and kind of anxious, trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life, and that's never like a calm topic to
Hmm.
to wade through. So I was, I was going to classes, and I was kind of nervous, and it was hard for me to focus. And I went to the natural food section of this health food store, where they sold like ginseng and chamomile, and all your kind of typical supplements. And one of the women that worked there was like, "Oh, we just got this stuff in. It's called Kava King," and they came in like a little tin, like kind of the old cocoa
Hmm.
from when we were growing up.
Oh yeah,
And
I remember Kava King. Cool.
yeah, kava king, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it was an instant kava, and so you just mix it with water. And I remember kind of being repulsed by the flavor the
Hmm.
first few times I tried it, but being like really instantaneously rewarded by the effects. And so when I started getting more into kava, that was kind of the most pure form of kava you could get at that time, at least that I was aware of, because this is kind of the early days of the internet as well. Um, and so I was drinking a combination of that and then kava stress relief, which was a yogi tea product, which I believe is still available.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that was good stuff too. I still every now and then will imbibe in some of that product because it has like that licorice kind of nice flavor to it. Um, but the Kavasseur website started in around 2007 or 2008, I believe.
Hmm.
I was in graduate school, so I just finished Peace Corps, and the internet opened me up to like all these different new kava vendors, and I was like, well, it would be cool if there was a resource out there that people could go on to and read reviews about kava to help inform their decisions, because there's just so many different varieties of kava. Most of those vendors aren't even around anymore. But but Knock 'em All at Home was one of the early ones that I was drinking, and I reviewed all their
Cool.
kavas. And then there was Kava by Rex, and so like if you go back to the old blogspot Kavasseur,
Yeah.
you'll find some of those really kind of ancient texts.
Yeah. And so that's awesome. So that site is still up.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
Cool, cool.
kavasseur.blogspot.com. Yeah.
Awesome. And then is that the site that you're going to be using moving forward with new
No,
reviews and
the new one is the kavasseur.com.
oh cool. Awesome. Hey,
So
and for those people who don't know, Doug has been traveling quite a bit. I know that you've been in places like Sudan and things like that doing some wonderful work. And but now
mhm,
you're back in the States. So is this kind
yeah,
of the reason that you're getting back to it? I know that you love kava.
yeah. I had retired the site even when I was in Sudan. I was still doing some reviews, but then I decided to retire the site, and I was planning to kind of be overseas for a while, and then there was a revolution in Sudan. So we were evacuated, and when I came back here, I was like, well, I'll just kava is something that kind of anchors me and kind of holds the room together, as the dude says
Hmm.
in the Big Lebowski. So I started a new Kavasseur website, and I've put up about 3 videos since I've been back. So
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And so for those
yeah.
people who have just are getting an introduction to kava right now,
Mhm.
um, just in a real briefly, can you explain, what kava is and why people would take it? And I saw that you're just drinking a bowl right there, and a little bit
Yeah.
about what it tastes like too. The-
Sure, sure. Kava. So So kava is the root of a plant in the pepper family, Piper methysticum, and it's either a lawena or a waka when you buy it. So that's either kind of the stump, the main root is the lawena, and then the waka are these lateral, small, kind of hairy roots, and those are kind of the gold standard for like a good strong kava. But it's an ancient drink, thousands of years old. It originated in Papua New Guinea, that area, which is currently now Papua New Guinea, and is spread throughout the Pacific. You know, as the Polynesian peoples moved moved eastward into the Pacific, and you know, got as far as Hawaii, and some say maybe got as far as, you know, South America, or had at least trade routes with South America, and as the people moved from Papua New Guinea to Vanuatu and then kind of into Polynesia, the different kinds of kava became kind of narrower and more refined. So you get some of the more refined kavas as you go east. But then, you know, Vanuatu is kind of the heartland of kava now, where you have the most diversity. And it's basically a drink that it's made from squeezing either the fresh roots or dried roots. And it tastes like pond water, as I'm sure
I like
you're
that
aware.
description. Sometimes I say it tastes like dirt or mud or something, but pond water is a good one too.
Yeah,
We're
I
not
guess it
kidding
tastes.
ourselves for those who have had kava.
Yeah, exactly. But you do learn to like it. You know, for me, I've learned to like the flavor profile because, like, I know that my relaxation is coming when I have that taste in my mouth. So, but yeah, traditionally it was consumed in a kind of a traditional context. You know, mostly like men, kind of elders in the communities sitting around a wooden bowl and drinking kava, and you know, it's like a social lubricant, so it helps conversations kind of move freely, um, and I think in the modern context, you know, a lot of people who drink it to help with anxiety, you know, maybe depression even. It just kind of helps you calm down, and you know, you can pick up a book or play a video game or watch a movie, and you'll just find yourself kind of peeling off all the stress.
Mm-hmm.
So it's become a kind of a big sensation on the internet, and you know, in there's kava bars everywhere now. So it's a really cool thing to have been a part of.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, can you tell me a little bit about, you know, we look at different industries like tea, for example.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that are very sophisticated about different teas coming from all around the world, different coffees, different coffee beans. Also, as you know, CBD is huge these days, and so people are looking into different terpene profiles that affect the taste and how you feel. Can you tell me a little bit about, like, your kava experience, because you have a particular palate for this type of thing? Like, as you said, kava doesn't taste the best to most people, but there are different variances and different kavas that you get from different islands around the South Pacific. But can you just talk a little bit about that? Because you are kind of like the aficionado out there. You've had thousands of people, look at your reviews, and you're looking at some very distinct things within kava. But can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing that I've been getting into more recently is kind of the lawena versus the waka flavor profiles. But kind of going back a little bit further, the different varieties of kava and the origins, the different countries that grow the kava, you'll find that if you get like a Tongan kava, it's like a smoother, kind of creamier, less repulsive, I guess, initially kind of kava. And then when you get closer to the origin, like, Vanuatu and Papua New Guinea, you get these really piney, it's kind of sour almost kavas that can really, a lot of people when they drink them, they kind of have a gag reflex. And sometimes they even, people will even like vomit the first time they taste kava, because your body's like, why are you consuming like dirt,
Yeah.
But for me, I've in terms of the flavors, I've become really a big fan of the Fijian kavas. A good lawena and waka mix to me kind of really it's strong, but it's also the lawena kind of cuts the flavor down a little bit. And I think your kava is like a waka lawena mix if I'm if I'm if
It
I'm
is,
guessing
yeah, yeah.
correctly.
It's kind of a beginner's one in a sense where
Hmm.
people that aren't used to kava, it's a way to just start getting used to the taste and the
Hmm.
feeling of it and just getting your hands on it and, trying different things with it. So,
Yeah, and it's an excellent kava. It's one of my favorites.
thanks.
It's very like it's a good session kava. You can sit down and drink it for hours.
Yeah.
um, so for me, that's kind of the in terms of the flavors. Some of my favorite kava flavors have been pure wakas mixed with the lowenas. Like some of the like the less strong like Tongan kavas. The Fijian kavas to me are kind of like the most delicious of all the kavas I've had. Um, and then it's important also to clarify that there's a difference between the flavor of fresh kava and dried kava.
Hmm.
Fresh kava, is absolutely delicious. It kind of tastes like coconut water or something. And just it's a completely different kind of experience. That it's very expensive to have that experience if you're in the mainland U.S., but it's something that every kava drinker should try at least once.
Yeah, absolutely. And then in your area, I know that you're kind of on the East Coast out in DC area. Are there
Hmm.
a lot of kava bars
No,
out there? Or
no, there aren't. I'm from California, and in California, where I grew up in San Diego, there are a lot of kava bars there. But
Mhm.
yeah, the kava bar scene is not. I live in Baltimore right now, and certainly, I don't think that Baltimore has the probably the market for kava. But I'm a little bit surprised that DC doesn't have at least one kava bar.
Mhm.
But that could be something that maybe down the road I try to do.
Yeah, maybe there. Yeah, maybe there's your chance. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Well, to kind of finish off, let people know where you can find your reviews and anything else that you'd like to share with people that are either trying kavas or want to experience a lot of different kavas.
Yeah. So my new website is www. Wait, there might not be the www. It might just be the kavasseur.com. I'll have to check. Anyways, if you search for
Cool.
it, you'll
Yeah,
find it.
we'll put it in the comments too. Uh-huh.
Nice, nice. And then if you want to find like the old reviews, which even I go back and I read them sometimes just for entertainment purposes.
It's
Because
very
I was
nostalgic. I mean, we've been doing this for a long time. I mean, you've
yeah,
been in the industry longer than I have, but both of us have over a decade of experience
yeah,
in
absolutely,
the
yeah,
Kava world.
yeah. Yeah, so there's the kavasseur.blogspot.com. And then if you go on YouTube and you just type in Kavasseur, I have, probably 50 or 60 videos on YouTube. Just kind of random reviews and so, it's interesting to like kind of see myself over the years,
Oh
from my
yeah,
own
yeah,
perspective change and my beard and my hair always change, but
yeah. No,
um,
I think it's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of looking at some of those the other day actually, and just looking at you know the kavas that we used to have before. It is pretty nostalgic, and to see how the industry has changed throughout
it
the
is.
years and different vendors coming and going and things like that. But
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
been nice just to connect with you, this past decade and
Absolutely.
to
Yeah.
another decade more.
Yeah, yeah, we're a good community of people. There's so many different interesting personalities. Sometimes there's debates. And I used to wade into those, but I don't anymore. And yeah, it's I feel like all the vendors that I've talked to are like family to me. So it's been great, and I
Yeah.
hope that to continue doing this until the last kava plant is harvested.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. Well, hey,
Yeah,
much aloha for doing this. Really appreciate it.
aloha,
And yeah, we'll let people know about kava. We'll hopefully get some more kava drinkers out there.
bula.
Bula. Cheers.